head to our first interview. It is summer in Minnesota, and unfortunately, in addition to orange cones, that means mosquitoes are trying to ruin our evenings. New today, we're starting to see a spike in the number of mosquitoes testing positive for West Nile virus. In fact, data from the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District shows a 25% positive rate in all the tests they're doing. This is one of the highest positivity rates ever recorded in July. So joining us now, Dr. Jordan Mondley, I hope I got that right, Mandley, my apologies, a vector ecologist at the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District. Doctor, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about these recent tests. What have you found, and how does this compare to years past?
Yeah, so this year, we anticipate to see West Nile virus here in the district, but given the fact that we see such a high level so early on in the season, that's kind of an area of concern, because as we try and predict what to expect as the season progresses and how we can better control it and educate the population, a lot of question marks start popping up. So we really are working together with local public health to try and figure out how we can, let people know and share information, what they can do to protect themselves.
Doctor, is there any indication about why these numbers are so high this year? I mean, anecdotally, just talking in the newsroom, a lot of folks are saying, wow, it seems like there's a lot of mosquitoes around this year. But what are you seeing specifically about high numbers early this season?
Yeah, so this has been like a perfect storm of weather. Normally when we think about mosquitoes, we usually think about rain. Rain creates habitat for these mosquitoes to start breeding and start popping up in places where we might least expect. A lot of people don't realize that the mosquito that actually transmits West Nile virus can be found not only in wetlands, but can be found in urban structures such as storm drains or even around people's houses. So it's really important, as you try to think about how can I protect myself around my house, is to eliminate those water sources.
Sure. Okay. So anywhere where there's a water source, you can find that. Why is the West Nile virus so concerning? What happens if someone gets it?
So West Nile virus can lead to some pretty severe disease. The way that we kind of look at it is kind of this iceberg. So a lot of people are getting infected with West Nile virus, but they don't show any symptoms. And about 10% of those individuals will develop, symptoms that may require them to go into the hospital. It's usually like achiness, potential of fever, and then an even smaller amount of those people can get really severe outcomes where can lead to encephalitis and either death or long-term disabilities.
Wow. Okay, so at one point, if someone maybe thinks that they contracted this, at what point do you think they should seek health care?
Yeah, so we always encourage people to, begin communication with their healthcare provider. This is kind of an unusual time because there's a number of viruses that can be transmitted by mosquitoes and, discounting ticks as well. And a lot of them kind of have similar symptoms. So when it comes to, starting that dialogue with your healthcare provider, it's about, talking about where have you been, what have you encountered if you've been, you have a mosquito bite, and then kind of talking about that time frame, and then getting in, and then getting checked or getting a checkup with your physician is a key component too. And then they can test for the pathogen.
Okay, very important stuff. Is there any way that people can protect themselves and try to prevent this altogether? I know a lot of folks are going to be headed out camping or out in the great outdoors in general. So what should they know to prevent this from the start?
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever you're out and about, personal protection is a key thing. And that means, wearing, those barriers on your skin. So that might mean wearing long sleeve shirts or wearing pants. And I know that's difficult to do during these summer months, but we really encourage people to do what you can to prevent the bite. And that also includes utilizing repellents. Repellents are a key thing to keeping mosquitoes as well as ticks and other, pests away.
Let's talk about mosquitoes in general, because like I said earlier, a lot of folks are telling me that when they go camping, they're coming back with more bites than they've ever gotten on their body. Are you seeing this? And if so, why does it seem like there's more mosquitoes than usual? I feel like either last summer or 2 summers ago, we had like a very light bug summer, a light mosquito summer. And is it the opposite this time around?
Yeah, so the last 2 years, if you think about actually even the last 5 years, we went through 3 years of drought, and during that period of drought, mosquitoes, the populations declined, and only select populations or species of mosquito really prospered during that time. Given that last year we had that huge deluge of rain at the beginning of the season, and this year we've essentially had rain almost every single week. We're introducing more habitat for these mosquitoes to lay their eggs, and then because of that, then they can get out there and complete their life cycle.
Wow. Okay. We're just giving them all the opportunities. Okay, well, this is really great information heading into the weekend. Dr. Jordan Mandley, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
All right. Great information heading into the weekend.